lovely progress people. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned into this video yesterday. It made me smile so much. Please keep tagging me in all of your videos and your photos, take a little mat selfie. I also had a request from the lovely Heidi, realising that a lot of people are working from home now and kind of sitting down on dining room chairs or on the sofa. We're all probably getting a little bit tight in the hips and the lower back. So today's flow, we're gonna build on what we did yesterday, layer in some new moves, layer in that feeling of kind of flowing together in a sequence, and have a little hip stretch. So come on and join me. Pop a mat down, find a space, go outside, do this on the grass, make the most of the beautiful weather. And we're going to start today's flow in child's pose. So then we're going to come over onto a kneeling position, take the knees a little wider than the hips, and then sit back onto the heels with the big toes together. And just walk your arms forward to a point where you feel like you're rested in your upper body. So this can be forearms to the floor and leaving the hips up a little bit higher if you're particularly tight in the hamstrings and the hips. Or if you make it, pushing right back into those heels, stretching the arms out long and bringing either your forehead or your chest to the floor. Have a little hang out in child's pose here. Taking a shift from side to side and just easing out any tension from this pose. You want to think about rocking the shoulders from side to side with the forehead rested on the floor. Maybe even taking the hips and just working the pelvis from side to side, easing that stretch around the ball and socket joint of the hip and into the glutes. Taking a big breath in, reaching the hands a little bit further up your mat and working your exhale breath to lower the chest and keep pushing back into the hips. Coming up through puppy pose, we're going to take our first lower back stretch of the day, where you just to bring your knees a touch closer than they were in child's pose. Flatten the feet to the floor, and then this time leaving the alignment of hip over knee, you're going to walk your hands forward and your chest down again, come into a little puppy pose stretch. So this is a wonderful extension for your lower back. And a big stretch through your upper thoracic spine as well. Thinking forehead to the floor if you make it, or chin to the floor. We get a little more stretch through the neck as well. Hips push up and back. Exhale, chest comes down towards the floor. Shoulder blades peel back and together. Enjoy that little stretch there for a moment. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, let the chest melt towards the floor. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, soften. Breathe in as you walk your hands back in towards you. Set the fingertips apart, hands at about shoulder width. And tucking your toes underneath you, just work those hips up and back into our first little down dog today. So bending and softening the knees so your hamstrings feel like they're not getting too much stretch. And finding that straight, strong spine by working tailbone up to the ceiling, shoulder blades together behind you. Take our first 3 rounds of Vinyasa today. So see what you remember from yesterday through this movement. Round 1, a little gentler. Inhale, roll the spine forward, push out of the feet, come to high plank. Lower the knees, flatten the feet. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back and together. Find baby cobra by peeling the breastbone up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rock over knees, hips and toes. Find down dog, push hips high. With me again. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale on the knees or stronger on the toes this time. Send the shoulders forward of the wrists to the floor. Flatten feet, inhale, lift chest. Keep pushing all the way up through cobra. Straight, strong arms if it feels right for you. Exhale, fold, tuck toes, lift hips. Last time, strongest level. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower to the floor. See if you can hold your body weight there. Flatten feet. Inhale through up dog. Exhale, tuck toes, push back. Inhale, bend the knees to the floor. Take them wide. Big toes together. Sit into that child's pose. Rest forehead. Enjoy that little side to side movement. Take 2 breaths here. Using those exhales just to get the chest a little lower to the floor. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, push back and lift up into that down dog. Now we're going to take our first little lunge sequence today. We're going to aim for 3 rounds here. Again, similar to yesterday, working the intensity up as we go. So can you take a big breath in your down dog and bend the knees to crouch. Exhale, spring the right leg and land it outside the right hand. Find your high lunge and drop back knee and foot to floor, round 1. Our little lizard lunge here. We're going to inhale, lift the chest and make length in the spine. So we want breastbone and eye gaze coming forward, hips coming down towards the floor. You're going to feel lovely length here, up the front of the hip flexor, possibly into the inner thigh on that front leg. Hold there for about 5 deep breaths. If you want to go a little further into your lizard lunge, we can think about either just walking the hands forward to take the hips lower, or if you make it, bring the forearms to the floor inside that front foot, but try and keep the alignment, knee directly over ankle. Inhale, hold. Exhale, push the chest forward, drop hips lower. Inhale, hold. Exhale, walk the hands back up, take them flat to the floor. Tuck your back toes to lift the knee, and then send that right leg straight back and land into high plank. Whatever level feels right for you, take a vinyasa. Knees, toes to the floor or active. Exhale, push back. Let's go same sequence, same level on the left side. Inhale, bend the knees and crouch. Exhale, spring left leg. Inhale, drop the back foot, the back knee. Lift the chest. Exhale, work the hips down. Aligning this knee, try to let it fall out or in. Think about just maybe walking our hands a tiny bit further forward to deepen the stretch. Or if you make it and you want more today, lizard lunge, we lower the forearms and we push the chest through to feel that real deep stretch right on the inner thigh, inner hip. Inhale, hold. Exhale, soften. 1 more breath here. Using that last exhale breath to push through the hands. Lift and activate through the back leg. Find high plank. Knees or toes, off we go. Exhale to the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll. A little bit more. Round 2, we're going to work through that same sequence again, but I've got an option for you. Inhale, bend both knees and crouch. Exhale, spring right foot. Pop the back knee down if you need to, or I want to challenge you to stay lifted here in this active lunge. Think about pulling that back kneecap hard away from the floor, so we've got length through the leg, and then pushing off the toes to bring the chest forward. Inhale, lift those collarbones, lift the eye gaze. Exhale, soften the hips. And if you make it today, you're going to take your last 3 breaths. Forearms to the floor. Then inhale, pull up back kneecap, lengthen the leg. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, squaring the hands back down to the floor. Exhale, pushing back through high plank. Go again. Moving through the sequence, if it feels right to put your knees down. Take those cobras a little less active today. You absolutely can. Breathe in, bend knees, crouch. Exhale, spring left foot. Inhale, find that lizard lunge by lengthening the chest, the shoulders. You want to find almost one straight line here from the tops of your shoulders going all the way back to that back heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, walk forward. Exhale, challenge on. Last big stretch here today. Dropping down into that lizard lunge. 2 more rounds of breath. Pulling the knee in so we're actively squeezing inner thigh, squeezing back quad. Exhale, walking hands back up. Inhale, push back, high plank, go again. Beautiful work, everybody. Dropping down into that child's pose once more. Thinking about getting a little wider in your knees as we go now. Wider knee position, bigger stretch in the inner thigh. Push hips all the way back. Lower forehead, lower chest. 3 breaths to recover. A little shimmy from side to side in the shoulders if it feels right for you here. A little more length in the arms to release the shoulders from this down dog work. And then one more round. We're going to take this stretch into the lower back and the hamstrings. They're going to feel particularly tight if you're sat down working from home a lot here. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, reset that down dog position, and I'll walk back up the mat. Bend the knees, crouch, breathe in. Exhale, spring right leg. As you land here, stay active through the leg. The option on this one, hamstring stretch, is to go back knee to the floor, foot flattens, and then send the hips back, folding the chest forward, and pick up your front toes to find this hamstring stretch on the front leg. Exhale, you're going to hold there for 5 breaths. A little bit more with me. We go from our active high lunge, and we're aiming to tuck the chin and chest, push the hips backwards, and at the same time as we straighten front leg, we're landing the back heel onto the floor. You might need to step your foot in a little bit closer so you're not quite so wide in the legs here. But as you exhale and work the chest down, you're going to feel length and stretch up this front hamstring. Hold there for 3 rounds of breath for me. Inhale, push the hips back. Exhale, fold the chest down. Inhale, active squeeze, a bit of tension through the legs, pull up the quads, pull up the kneecaps. Exhale, find more length. Inhale to hold. Exhale to soften, lovely modified pyramid stretch here. Breathe in as you push off the back heel, reset the front knee, bend, flatten the hands. And exhale, go back to high plank, take a vinyasa. These start to get a little more intense the more we build through. When you get to about 10 or so movements through there, the upper back and the triceps start to fire. Breathe in, bend the knees, crouch, last round. Exhale, spring left leg. Option is here if you need it, a little gentler stretch on that hamstring. We're going to pick up those front toes as we sit back on the knee. Or harder, more stretchy, a little more intense today. We're going to step that back foot in and then tuck the hips and chest and work into straight leg pyramid. 5 rounds of breath for you to enjoy. Inhale, pulling up the quad and the kneecap. Exhale, hips go back, chest and collarbones tuck. Inhale, squeeze that back heel towards the floor. Exhale, soften, lower in your body. Inhale, hold. Exhale, just relax head, neck and shoulders. Inhale, draw everything back forward, bend front knee. Have you got one more left in you? Flatten the hands on knees or toes. High plank, off we go in your own pace. Beautiful work, everybody. Take those knees now into your widest child's pose yet. I want you to push them wide across the floor, big toes together. Sit back into the heels and lower the chest. We're aiming to get a nice big inner thigh stretch. Working those internal hip rotators. Exhaling forehead, forearms or chest to the floor, whatever's right to you. Last few breaths. Coming back up and just inching those knees back into about hip width apart. Setting the hips so they stay above knee line. Come into our last little puppy pose stretch. Just like we did at the start. Hands walk forward. Spine extends so you get that lovely curve in the lower back. And as you rest either your forehead down or slightly more length and extension, chin to the floor. Reach your hands as far forward as they'll go. And push the tailbone back and up. Lovely. Spine extension, puppy pose. It's just going to release all of that negative energy from being sat down. And as you breathe in, walk the hands back up one last time. Come all the way over, take a little seat here. Whatever feels right for you. Legs out long or legs crossed. Bring your hands onto the knees, ground your energy back down. Take a big breath in, reach up tall. Find that length in the spine that we found yesterday at the start of the video. Inhale to the fingertips. Exhale, take those fingertips and reach them forward. Start to fold. Hips push back. Pelvis pushes back, stays grounded to the floor. And any way you can, fingertips lower. Chest, head, neck and shoulders lower. Hands can just creep a little further forward along the floor or your mat. Inhale, lengthen out of the hips and pelvis. Exhale, soften upper body to the floor. Inhale, pull through the lower back. Exhale, just creep the fingertips again. 4 more breaths here to finish. You're just working your forehead towards the floor. It doesn't matter if it's not near the floor yet. This all depends on flexibility in glutes and hamstrings. We're going to find that over the next few weeks while we've got a little bit of time to focus on our yoga practice here. Breathe in, walk the hands back up. Lift the chest and sit tall. Exhale and release. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got anywhere that feels tight, if you want some specific stretches for certain parts of your body, then please do pop it in the comments, and every day I'll try and answer each of your yoga related prayers. But keep flowing with me, and we're all going to be so bendy by the time we get back in the gym. So enjoy your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.